She was just 13 years old when her life changed forever. One moment, she was chasing her dream, surfing waves under the Hawaiian sun. The next, she was fighting for her life, her arm torn off in a shark attack. Most people would have given up, but not Bethany Hamilton. This is not just the story of a girl who survived. It's the story of a warrior, a believer, a dreamer, a young woman who chose to ride the waves of life, no matter how hard, no matter how high, with just one arm, and with more heart than most of us will ever know. Bethany Hamilton was born on February 8, 1990, in Lihu, Hawaii. For many people, Hawaii is paradise, beaches, palm trees, and sunsets. But for Bethany, it was more than paradise. It was home. It was a playground. It was where her soul connected to something bigger, the ocean. Her parents were surfers. Her brothers were surfers. So it was no surprise when Bethany stood on her first surfboard at just 8 years old. And it was clear from the beginning, this wasn't just a hobby. It was a calling. By the time she was 10, Bethany was already competing and winning. Her name began to make waves in the surfing world. Coaches, sponsors, and fans were paying attention. She was a prodigy. But sometimes, life crashes down on us like a wave. Uninvited, unpredictable, and unstoppable. October 31st, 2003, Halloween morning. Bethany, now 13, went for an early surf session at Tunnels Beach on Kauai's North Shore. The water was calm. The sun had just begun to rise. She was out with her best friend Alana Blanchard, Alana's father and brother. Bethany lay on her board, her left arm dangling in the water. Then it happened. A 14-foot tiger shark surged up from the deep and bit off her left arm just below the shoulder in one horrifying instant. She didn't scream. She didn't panic. Instead, she calmly said, "I think I got attacked by a shark." With 60% of her blood gone, Bethany was rushed to the hospital. She was barely conscious. Doctors later said if she had arrived just a few minutes later, she would have died. The girl who once danced on waves was now facing a future without an arm, and possibly without the thing she loved most, surfing. The news spread quickly. The world was shocked. A rising star's dream had been crushed. But Bethany didn't feel crushed. Something in her soul refused to be broken. Just 1 month after the attack, with stitches still fresh, scars still healing, she did the unthinkable. She got back on a surfboard, balancing with one arm, paddling with one side of her body, falling, struggling, failing, but not quitting. She adapted. She learned. She adjusted her board, changed her paddling technique, rewired her balance, and then she rode a wave. The girl with one arm was surfing again, and she wasn't just surfing. She was competing. In 2004, less than a year after the attack, Bethany won 5th place at the NSSA National Championships. She was back, and she was better. Over the next few years, Bethany continued to rise through the ranks. Sponsors returned. Crowds roared. Media lined up for interviews. Hollywood came knocking. In 2007, she published her autobiography Soul Surfer, which became a bestseller. In 2011, a major motion picture based on her life, Soul Surfer, starring Anna Sophia Robb, brought her story to millions worldwide. But Bethany never let fame define her. Her mission was greater, to inspire others through faith, perseverance, and the power of not giving up. Bethany's Christian faith was always central to her story. She often said it was her trust in God that gave her peace after the attack, and strength to keep going. Her favorite Bible verse? I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4, verse 13. She shared her testimony in churches, schools, and conferences around the world. And people listened, not because she had a perfect life, but because she had a powerful perspective. In 2013, Bethany married Adam Dirks. Together, they built a life filled with adventure, faith, and love. They've since had 4 sons, Tobias, Wesley, Micah, and Alea. Bethany kept surfing competitively and proved over and over that limitations are often mental, not physical. In 2016, she placed 3rd at the Fiji Women's Pro against the world's best surfers. One arm, no excuses. Bethany didn't stop at surfing. She launched a nonprofit, Friends of Bethany, to support shark attack survivors and amputees. She authored multiple books, released fitness programs, started motivational speaking tours, launched a YouTube channel, shared raw, real, and powerful parts of her journey with millions online. And in everything she did, she carried one message. You are more than your setbacks. You are stronger than your scars. You are made to rise. Bethany's story isn't about a shark attack. It's about the decision to keep going. It's about courage when life cuts you down. It's about showing the world what's possible when you refuse to quit. Today, Bethany Hamilton is not just a champion surfer. She's a role model, a wife, a mother, an author, a speaker, a living, breathing symbol of determination. She turned her greatest tragedy into her greatest triumph. She lost an arm, but gained a platform. She lost a limb, but found her voice. And with that voice, she reminds us all, you don't need everything to give everything. You don't need perfect conditions to make progress. And you definitely don't need both arms to change the world. So the next time you feel like giving up, the next time you think the odds are too high, the pain too much, or the road too long, remember Bethany Hamilton. Remember the girl who lost her arm to a shark and came back stronger than ever. Because sometimes the wave that was meant to crush you becomes the very wave that carries you to greatness.